Hello, this is a video on how to use the TI-84 calculator to use scientific notation. Now, why would I use scientific notation in science class? Maybe because it's scientific and we write really small numbers and really large numbers that we don't want to write all the decimals. We're going to use the scientific notation. So here on this TI-84, eventually some of you are going to be converting millimeters to kilometers, and then you're going to be we're converting the number of grams of aluminum to number of atoms. So this is like our chapter 2 in chemistry, and this is like our chapter 3 in chemistry. So the beginning. So we're going to, I believe in some of the upcoming homeworks, we're going to use scientific notation. So what do I mean by scientific notation? Okay, let me write a couple of numbers down. So the number 3,500 we can write as 3.5 times 10 to the what? Well, I'm going to move it 3 places over, 10 to the third. So how do I type that in the calculator? 3,500 is just 3,500, but I can also type 3.5, the second button E, 3, and it also gives you 3,500. Well, how can I make the calculator put it in scientific notation to automatically show it? Go to mode, and we're in normal notation, which is probably where you're at. I'm going to change to psi, and then I can do any kind of accuracy here. When we talk about significant figures, if I do psi 2, it shows a number with 2 decimal places. So let me put it in 3.50 times 10 to the third. That'll be psi 2 version. So now I'll quit to go out of there. And there's, sorry, I want psi 2, not normal 2. The normal 2 was showing my hundredths like money. There we go. Sorry about that. There it's 3.50E3. So when you're in my class, you'll probably go to scientific. Otherwise, go back to mode and go back to normal. So I'll go back to normal. Okay. Actually, I don't want normal 2. I want normal float just because it doesn't show the 3,500 unless I need it. So let me type in a bigger numbers. 602 with a bunch of zeros. It's so big, it automatically puts it in scientific notation. Okay, so that's how we type it in scientific. Let me do another number, 0.00042. That's going to be 4.2 times 10 to the, this time, negative. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.2e negative 4. 4.2 negative 4. Okay, so 0.00042. It'll automatically show it. So let me go back out of there. Go back to normal. And I guess it was small enough, it was making it in scientific. Okay, so that's how we type it in scientific. So here's how we do these 2 unit conversion problems. This one with metric system and this one with grams and moles and atoms. So some of you will learn very soon, or you already have, that to change from millimeters to meters, it's 10 to the negative third. In kilometers to meters is 1 kilo is 10 to the third meters. So how do you type this in? 2.57 e negative 3. But I'm not going to multiply. I'm going to divide by E3. So divide 1 E3. And I'll get 2.57 times 10 to the negative 6 kilometers. Or I could have just said 2.57, move it 3 places for milli and 3 places for kilo. And I get it in normal notation, but in scientific, 2.57 times 10 to the negative 6 kilometers. So that's an example of using scientific notation to convert metric units. Okay, so problem number 2 was a chemistry problem. So how do you convert grams and atoms? Some of you already know this. But some of you will learn in chapter 3 that if I have 25 grams of aluminum, I want to use a different conversion. And if I look on the periodic table, aluminum has a mass of 26.98, and that number of grams is equal to 1 mole, which is equal to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. So 25 times 6.02 E23 divide 26.98, and I get 5 point whatever, so 5.58 times 10 to the 23rd, rounded to 3 significant figures. Some of you don't know what those are yet, but we will learn them very soon. Some of you already know this. So this was a video on how to use the TI-84 calculator and how to do it in scientific. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's hard to explain this every single day, 3 times a day for chemistry. So I'm making a video so I can play the video, stop it, talk about it, and make sure all of you can use your calculators effectively. Thanks.